Ever wonder what it's like for a country to just vanish from the map? Not in some fantasy novel, but in real life. That's exactly what happened to Poland in the late 18th century. For over 120 years, it was gone, carved up by its powerful neighbors, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. Yet, the Polish people never forgot who they were, their language, their culture, their spirit. All lived on, waiting for the right moment. That moment finally came with the chaos of World War I. Imagine the scene. Europe is tearing itself apart, empires are crumbling, and in the middle of it all, Polish activists see their chance. They'd been dreaming of this for generations. Around 2 million Polish soldiers fought in the war, not for the empires that had erased their homeland, but for the dream of a free Poland. On every front, in the trenches and on the battlefields, they were there, a nation without a state, fighting for a future. Behind the scenes, the political game was just as intense. The Polish political elite, led by figures like the charismatic Józef Piłsudski and the brilliant diplomat Roman Dmowski, were working tirelessly. They lobbied the Allied powers France, Britain, and Russia, trying to get them to back the idea of an independent Poland. It was an uphill battle. How do you convince world leaders to redraw the map for a country that has existed for over a century? But then, a series of almost unbelievable events tipped the scales. Revolutions exploded in both Russia and Germany. The old empires that had held Poland captive were suddenly in turmoil, their power collapsing from within. It was the perfect storm. The world was changing, and Poland was ready to ride the wave. And then it happened, November 11th, 1918. While the rest of the world celebrated the end of the Great War, Poland celebrated its rebirth. After 123 years of foreign rule, the Second Polish Republic was declared. Józef Piłsudski, a man who had dedicated his life to this cause, became the leader of the newly independent nation. The streets of Warsaw were electric with joy and hope. A dream had become reality, but regaining independence was just the beginning. The real work had just started. Think about it. You have a country that has been split into 3 different parts for over a century. Each part had a different legal system, a different economy, even different railway gauges. The task of stitching these pieces back together into a single, functioning nation was monumental. It was like trying to assemble a giant, complicated puzzle with pieces that didn't quite fit. The interwar period, from 1918 to 1939, was a whirlwind of activity. The first challenge was securing the borders. This wasn't a peaceful process. To the east, Poland found itself in a major war with the newly formed Soviet Union. The Battle of Warsaw in 1920, often called the Miracle on the Vistula, was a turning point. Against all odds, the Polish army managed to push back the Red Army, a victory that many believe saved not just Poland, but a significant part of Europe from a Soviet advance. Internally, politics was a battlefield of its own. The new democracy was fragile and chaotic. Political parties were constantly fighting, and the country was deeply divided. This turmoil led to a shocking tragedy in 1922. The assassination of Gabriel Naruto, the very first democratically elected president of Poland, just days after he took office. It was a dark moment that exposed the deep rifts in society. The instability continued, and in 1926, Józef Piłsudski, who had briefly retired from politics, decided he'd had enough. Eleda coup d'état, taking control of the government. While his rule brought a degree of stability, it also moved Poland away from the pure democracy it had started with. This period was complex, a mix of authoritarian rule and genuine efforts to modernize and strengthen the nation. But while the political scene was often grim, the cultural scene was anything but. The interwar period was a true golden age for Polish culture. Freed from the censorship and suppression of foreign rulers, artists, writers, and musicians exploded with creativity. It was a time of immense energy, innovation, and undeniable charm. Polish cinema, for example, came into its own. Stars like Pulanagri went on to conquer Hollywood. Warsaw became a hub for vibrant theater, with avant-garde performances pushing the boundaries of the stage. Cabarets were filled with witty songs and political satire, a way for people to laugh at the absurdity of their political reality. Music was everywhere. Jazz clubs popped up, and the tango became a national obsession. Composers like Karol Szymanowski created breathtaking modern classical music, while popular singers created tunes that are still loved in Poland today. This cultural flourishing wasn't just entertainment. It was a way of forging a new national identity, a modern Polish identity for a modern nation. It was a celebration of being free. This 20-year period of independence was a breathless, frantic, and brilliant chapter in Polish history. It was a time of rebuilding a nation from scratch, fighting for its survival, and creating a dazzling culture that shone brightly, even under the shadow of the gathering storm clouds of another world war. It was a story of a country that, after being wiped off the map, came back with a vengeance, proving that a nation is always more than just lines on a piece of paper. It's an idea, a spirit, and a culture that can never truly be erased. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into Poland's past fascinating, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories from history. See you next time.